Buddhism Thailand officer to Hara Nandi Bajara Ambigi Utsudi Janoda Buddhism Jinakumu Haralunga Chimutule Inda Mikindera Kuzuzambo the Chimbale civilization.
Today on this very auspicious day, the first ever held collaborative meeting on seminar on Buddhist Art and Happiness ever conducted. We are very happy to welcome the Lesson Rinpoche, the Karma Acharya of the Central Monastic Body, and Professor Dr. Fra Mendi Bajara Pandit, and the other officials and studying. We would like to extend our heartfelt welcome.
Kin Nambi Researchum Ken Dambaji Namidi Tira Thailand Gi Machula Loco Tulalo Jada Nambi Timbu Dodenta Shita Nambi region Torilo the Niji Panalu Tinam Disu Hemo Tamsaba Hemo Dindi Zosubi Rio Yoba Mase Mache Nashibinisu Chigi Chilu Another Kukuri Vigi Tasen Zambochi the Teleton Sube Sishu.
With this seminar conducted between the presentation of Mahapati and the Institute Thailand, I'm hopeful that we will be able to enhance cooperation, bonds, and acquaintance, and further make stronger friendships between the two universities.
Tiginale, Tangachetulo of the Nambanigi Panalu, the Sundi Kitchen, Genda Jen Namadimase, Taring a Nambi Tagum Chisum, Timbigi, Tambi Chugi Kole, Seshigi, Lerin, Goden Tamigi, Mix Saging at Chitula of the Nigi Panalu, Jua Sabchi, Chunsubigi, Revolution.
Despite having more talks on very important agendas, the talk about the philosophical view, contemplation, and moral conduct. I hope it may bring some positive change in our university.
Nambi Chugi Nale, Tangatira, Dugia Cup, the Sangagi Chu Taigi Giacopse, Zamina Leonda, Jo Udus Metanangachiki, Sangagi Chugi Kole, Tedile, Sangigi Sun Fida, the Suta Sugi Kole, Machi Dogenagi, Chidioma Kembo, Kamachugi, Sesha that the Suna, his Malegi, Chemisugi, Nando the Lu, the Kowad, Datuena, Pentum. Riba Jisur Benilu Penta Bomb Jira Tangaragi J session.
And it's well known that Bhutan is a country where the tantric Buddhism is widespread. So therefore, there will be also a talk by the vice director of this university about how the Buddha taught the tantric teaching and how it was propagated, and therefore I hope there will be some exchange in wisdoms about the tantric teaching as well.
Jura Matire Tulalo the Nigi Panalu, the Chedum K. Chimodisue, Nada Najimba Yubi Kalu, the Gaki Navi Jun, Tuzum Simidi, the Gutu Dive, Violet and the Tinale Tembi, that should the D. 20 Machergi, the Chigi Chiluribaji Surbe, Talepa Pension Quadratu Dive, Nimanglo Ken Tosu Mase, Machergi Namba Sangi Temba Dive. Ken Jachambo too soon, Rewa Damna session.
uh, the few universities have been in search and especially with this collaborative meeting and academic seminar on Buddhist art and happiness, I really hope that it will have some positive impact on the audience as well as the people in mass. So henceforth, I really hope that there will be more of such seminars where we can exchange our thoughts and wisdom. Thank
그렇지.
you.
Now, may I please ask Venerable Professor Dr. Pramidi Vajara Pundit to perform the opening speech of today's wonderful event. Please welcome Professor Dr. Pramidi Vajara Pundit.
Most respected to most venerable His Eminent Limso Lopen Rinpoche, Vice Sankaraja, Royal Bhutan Sangha, respected most venerable Kemsen Kimsang Pille, Director of Tangko Doden Tachitang Buddhist University, Professor, Lecturer, friends in the Dhamma, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank His Eminent and Director of Tangko Buddhist University who give us a chance to be here to share our experiences, especially the way we learn how to practice mindfulness in order to achieve true happiness. Common suffering everywhere and every time. It's the reason why the Buddha tried to affirm that I taught suffering and extinction of suffering, which means for those who suffer, would you please come to learn how to ending suffering. For those who never get themselves into the problem, no way to take more time to come to learn how to practice in order to achieve true happiness. We all who being here understand that we are facing suffering and we try our best to achieve true happiness, to seek true happiness inside our mind. And you can see there are too many monks who climb up to on the top of the mountain in order to practice meditation 3 years and 3 months. When we look back to the Buddha time, when our Lord Buddha, Shakyamuni, when he is Siddhartha Bodhisattva, royal palace, he have wife, money, son, everything. But one thing he never had. So the reason why you have to leave from your parents to go to practice meditation in the forest. For what? In order to seek true happiness inside their mind. The Buddha vision or Buddha goal, we have just one goal, one vision. Our vision is that nirvana. Our vision is true happiness. Our vision is nirodha. Nirodha is extinction of suffering. That is the way to be happy. But when the Buddha, he would be able to achieve his goal or vision already by achieving true happiness. So what is strategy? Vision will be the goal. Vision is nirvana or true happiness. What is strategy? What is mission? Mission means the way that we have to practice in order to achieve true happiness inside our mind. The mission will be like this. The Buddha explained that the mission is that we have to practice mindfulness. Ekayano mako ayang pikawe saptanang visuddhiya. Ekayano ayang pikawe mako saptanang visuddhiya. Which means this is one way to bring those who would like to achieve true happiness. It's one way to practice in order to purify our mind. That's come from Mahasatipatthana Sutra. 4 missions we have to practice under Mahasatipatthana Sutra. That is the mission. There are 4 missions that we have to practice in order to achieve true happiness. First mission, observation physical body. Observation physical body, which means body come from 4 elements. Soil, fire, air, water. Our body come from 4 elements. Every time when we practice meditation, we have to observe that phenomena that occur all the time. In order to understand that, our body will be 3 characteristics. Anicca, dukkha, anatta will appear inside physical body. The reason why we have to observe and know physical body, because we have to learn how to understand that is impermanent. Everything impossible to be like that all the time. And our body will be empty at the end. We will see emptiness inside our body. That is the first mission for those who practice meditation have to do. The second mission, we have to observe sensation or emotion. Every time dukkha vedana, sukha vedana, and upekha vedana will occur all the time when we practice. We will see that phenomena occur. If those who are practicing would like to understand that sensation occur and disappear at the end, we have to observe and note again and again, properly, mindfully, and naturally. No way to control everything. For those who are practitioners, don't control physical body, and sensation. But let it be, let it go. We just see and observe and try to understand what happened. The third mission, observe our mind. The Buddha explained many times, mind, that is very important. Observe when your mind thinking or wandering. Mind is like a monkey mind, but you can't control your mind. Kilesa, dukkha, suffering, happiness occur inside your mind. You just observe it. Don't control your mind. It's the way that practitioners have to do. And the last one, observe Dhamma. Dhamma, the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, and so on, even Paticcasamuppada, will occur inside your mind all the time when you practice. You will see the Dhamma will appear all the time when you practice. Then Dhamma will grow up all the time. That is the four mission for those who would like to achieve mission have to practice. Mission is nirvana or extinction of suffering or true happiness. The Buddha set up four missions for those who would like to achieve true happiness. Observe physical body, observe sensation, observe mind and Dhamma. If you try to do that like this, eventually we all would be able to see and seek true happiness inside your mind. His Eminent, Venerable, ladies and gentlemen, it is the time for all of us. We all have to try to approve the way that the Buddha taught us. Just learn Buddha teaching is unable to understand what is the real Buddha teaching. But for those who would like to understand who are the Buddha, who is the Buddha, what is the real Dhamma, Buddha nature, Buddha being, and Dhamma lying inside your mind. If you would like to see who is the Buddha, one way you have to do is practice meditation or mindfulness. Whenever you see the Dhamma, you will see the Buddha. Whenever you see the Dhamma, you will see the Buddha. And the Buddha never far away from your mind body. The Buddha still lying inside your mind. I would like to inspire you all. It is the time for us to dedicate our life to practice meditation in order to seek, in order to pay respect our real Buddha inside our mind. And thank you very much.
Now, with due respect, I'd like to request our chief guest, His Eminence Lesolopin Rinpoche, to grace us with the Amrita drop of keynote speech on Buddhist Art of Happiness.
Wajrama Gibanda Che Puramatono, Salatono, Upanda Mileshati Human, Episolo, Puri Buddhist Art of Happiness Kakole, Chelodoji, Puntachi Shukul. Mahachulanku University da Vajra Yogi Sulalata, Niji Panagi, Tunjildi, 대비기로 주함대 지기 해말래 그렇게 강나라 땅국이 진집에 대비기 갑날에 같이 대화 대비 세션 빌리 구성되게 고리 카틀레 어제 여기 술러럽자들로 대통기 별로분에게 그런 피드백 또 그 배정치기 팔에 대기식이 lokyon thara chin bebe dela luchi pha lubebe kungi phaji lekchu be chashu gibi dela luchi atara tasasu nalo pha ege bhakti be chashu gibi yesi bebi ki lo dengi hema ekana atara ji professor dr hamsa suparana chen ngachina deta shtamade 그러다가 기타나 부모님 진짜 시키게 그래서 그걸로 본인이 반하고 이렇게 그런 거지 좀 제가 뭔가기 본다 그래서 나도 스스로 같이만 낸 것이나 전문가 같은 것들을 어떤 더 다시 빠는 게 된다래 그런 게 MC 고수들이 위해서 인들어들 대불로 타파치나로 니안 비팀 고비팀 되게 되시나요. 그것이 포티기게 제가 토마스 인들어 버스 줄에 그다 마찬가지 나 나중에서로 마찬가지 경영 차차로 공기 그다 팔에 스콜러십 진도에 그다 나 신인기 예술이 이렇게 되더라고요. 특히 좀 집에 가진 그다 저 Buddhist Art of Happiness yani Buddhist Art of 망추 그다 또라 그것처럼 망추디 가지기 주인의 망추디 그처럼 영화되기 내 시행이 힘나는 망추디 연구하나로 특수다 맞추기수 시행이 되는 합주제 망추기 연구는 남미대수로 고백이 되죠. 그래서 이 나도 나초기 이장점을 무슨지 저는 약간 같은 것을 지를 그러니까 망추기에 대해서 가지고 망추기기 잡는 게 시대가 같이 망추기기 계속해 봐. 나는 보는데 happiness 그 같이 시대기 쭉 망추기 그거를 자체 술라 어떤 게 반말로 피운 예술 배신나 내가 그 대단히 부지지 있으시 다음에 들어 맞춰라 그다 저쪽에 고추도 배신나 술로 그니 게 반말로 피운 예술 거꾸로 예술 그래서 그다 누구 조람에 신의 배신나 나라파 마치 충전기 대화비 다른데 부츠기 서팅 대신나 고비 용역의 정도 그나 오피서 코리게 카필레 경크법 대배 그나 저가라 특별히 잘라나니비 이렇게 유의시슈 이렇게 그때는 그다 제나 녹용 비밀이 시도받았다. 남으시면 두 개고 그다 말아봐 맞더라 망대기 주 점령 서치를 여기 어떤 거 같은 맞더라 시험 도고be 그 점령이 아까 정크포 수비기 연타기 고be 그 안에다가 그 점령이 아까 이야기 주주이기 유니버시티 집에 된다. 안에 집에 그 맞더라기 나중 제가 자체로 뜻다 녹내게 보름 특별시나 어떻게 생각했던 바 우리나라 교수들이 천주기 자라치 교수들이 그때는 되게 가을에 투명 나시나 나라가 Tiki Pokapi Karagilena Sishu. Ukazazambatawa, respected the most venerable Professor Dr. Ma Hansa, the Director of International Buddhist Study College, MC. Most venerable Kenshin Kinjin, the President of Buddha Buddhist University, Vice President Kimbo Karma, Venerable Kimbo Karchun, Speaker from IBSC, Venerable Dr. Nimanda, Venerable Dr. Ugin Sri, Dr. Konit Suthong, Dr. Natapon Amon Rom, and to all participants, welcome to this August gathering. To begin with, first, I congratulate the President of Buddhist Buddhist University for hosting this academic seminar. And I also offer my gratitude to the delegate of IBSC, which is led by Most Venerable Professor Dr. Mahan Hansa, for your effort and input in this academic seminar. The International Buddhist Studies College of MCU and Buddhist Buddhist University share common values and principles in upholding the Buddha's doctrine and promoting peace in the two nations. Over the past 10 years, the two institutions have made several exchange programs that have been impactful in the field of Buddhist studies, culture exchange, and academic seminar. These exchange programs have not only benefited the two institutions, but also enhance the stronger country-to-country relationships. The remarkable impact of exchange program is the scholarship to Bhutan monk at IBSC in MCU, which resulted in the production of two PhD passes. For the Bhutanese monk, I am proud of them, and I offer my sincere gratitude to the IBSC. As a Buddhist practitioner in this 21st century, we must play the role of an agent of change. Neither philosophy alone nor Buddhist doctrine can help to avoid troubles of this contemporary. Most of Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings address ordinary beings and offer a direct way to understand the nature of our experience. They present a non-assertive view that appeals to common logic that that can be verified by closely observing the elements that constitute our everyday world. We must note with this knowledge in a holistic approach. The central point of the Dharma and the inspired intention behind the action of every great master is to break through our differences in lives and lead us to the path of everlasting happiness. Among many applications that can contribute to everlasting happiness are the Buddhist arts, which include the visualization and contemplation of Buddhist arts that are product in the context of Buddhism. Thailand. A Buddhist country is not only a place of Buddhist practice, but it is richness in Buddhist art, including the iconography of Buddhism gives the inspirational source of veneration and merit making. On the other hand, Bhutan is claimed as a country of peace and happiness, which is measured by philosophy of gross national happiness founded by the great fourth king of Bhutan. His Majesty the King is instrumental in guiding us not only the path of happiness, but also in inspiring us to the path of spiritual sin. In addition, the vibrant culture and tradition interlinked with Buddhism, particularly Vajrayana Buddhism, is being purely practiced and preserved among the monastic as well as lay practitioners. The trilogy of empowerment, transmission, and institution is the mainstream of Vajrayana Buddhism that has been transmitted from the unbroken lineage of teacher to students. Although the two countries have seemingly different aspects of tradition and practice, however, both countries pursue a common goal for the interest of the nation and people. In addition to this goal, we as a Buddhist practitioner should play a vital role as an agent of change or bridge between country to country and people, fostering stronger relationship and brotherhood. Through this seminar, we are expected to open a door for Buddhist monks and practitioners to express their view and understanding in fostering happiness through Buddhist arts and contemplation.
I expect to see more speakers, even the student monks partake in the next seminar, either in Bhutan or Thailand. I wish and pray for the success of this seminar and look forward to seeing and hearing outstanding presentation and talks. Thank you and touch you.
Finally, without any further delay, we are now going to begin our main event. If I give a brief intro about this seminar, we have two grand sessions, and one will be held right now, and another will be held after a good break. Our first session has 3 presentations, and the next one has 4. With this, may I please request Kembo Karchung, the lecturer and Sanskrit teacher of the Institute, to be a moderator for the first session. With this, and with this, I would like to request our guests to leave this stage and please proceed to the seats that we have prepared for you to witness our seminar.
Presentation you learn. On Benilo. Presentation you love there. She might be dinner. She might be dinner. So speaking will be see.
The person who's late.
Just 1 minute. So where the speaker will be stay there, right?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, then I want to take this mic from there.
Okay. This microphone.
Okay.
With due respect to our eminence, the Solar State, decided by our university attention today, and every participants here. Today, I'm very much sorry to tell that we have to choose an moderator as Lopen Putnamge, but unfortunately, he had sore throat with fever. He could not attend here today, and I'm taking this to take our first session today. May I invite our first speaker, Dr. Konit Sritong, is already here. And the second speaker, may I invite Kenchen Karmo, our vice chancellor in this university. The third speaker, may I invite Venerable Dr. Niminda from MCU. Please give them a big hand. I see their topic very interesting today. The first speaker will be on the topic of Buddhism and happiness, sociological perspective by Dr. Konit Sritong, Associate Professor in Buddhist Studies and Vice Director of International Buddhist Studies College, NCU. Your time will be 15 minutes, please. And please begin your speech.
Thank you, Governor, Master Wider. Respect His Eminence, Professor Dr. Pratik, Director of RGSC, and the most venerable rector of Tangko Buddhist University. Respect, most venerable ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to have this opportunity to present my paper. My background is sociologist. I am sociologist. Sometimes I specialize in sociology of religion. So with this topic, is it myself? No. I'm waiting for. Okay. Anyway, so the thing is that the world are facing as His Eminence or even our rector and our director also told us, we are facing difficulty. Not just only the way how to live. In this world, it is very difficult. We are in the Barney world. You know Barney world. The first one is B, stand for brittle. Our world is easy to break away. It is not permanent. It's easy to break away. With the next slide. Next slide. So the second one is A, that anxious. It's full of anxiety. But how we can cope with the anxiety? That I think the Dhamma or Buddha Dhamma, the Buddhism play a very important role in this present world. The third one is N, stand for non-linear. The development of the kind of phenomena is not linear. It's not like they start from the 0 up to the 10. No. That you cannot predict what will happen. Right now, it's things going on happening, occurring always, changing always, and the last one is incomprehensible. It's very difficult to understand. You can see what's happening in this world. So can you see the Bani world? Because it's very difficult to connect with. No, it's not my fault. It's okay, no problem. We will go ahead. Can I go there? That will be better, I think. No? No. It's PDF. No. Teacher, okay. No. Yeah, here. Lah. Okay. Some kind of technical difficulty. It's PDF.
Is it PDF?
Yeah. Okay. It's like this. Let me see. I'm sorry for that.
It's this one.
No. It's PDF. Which one? Which one?
This one or this one? This one?
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
This one?
no. Okay.
Can't hear you.
So maybe that can you go before me? That will be better because it's not ready for that. Okay, can you remind me?
Unfortunately, the problem may
they're trying to get the happiness, but we can't get the real happiness. So how do we get the real happiness from the Buddhists? So this is my content. So firstly, I will be talking about the introduction. After that, soteriology. It's me, the celebration, but I hear a translation like a real happiness. And after that, we will be study about the structure and the symbolism of the Bodhicakka and the concept of the Paticcasamuppada, dependent co-origination. And also I will be explore about the analytical insight into Paticcasamuppada. And after that, the comparative analysis with the mindfulness that's between tradition and also the soteriology and the praxis happiness. And the last one is conclusion. So in my slide, I'm already explaining about that's to soteriology and praxis, that's two tradition. The Vajrayana Buddhism and Theravada Buddhism, we are focusing to the philosophical and the practical, dimension of the Buddhism that we call real happiness. And also, one of the that the Bhavacakka. Bhavacakka is, already about that, the wheel of life. Every temple, every monastery, we can see very easily. So this is the unstuckness of the cyclist existence of the samsara. That's to be overcome of the suffering. So that's the reason why now we need a happiness that's to overcome the suffering. And after that, the Paticcasamuppada, this is the dependent origination. This is also the representative of the doctrinal framework in explain about the causal relationship and the condition that is sustaining the cycle of the existence. So the soteriology is the real happiness. So what is the soteriology? Soteriology is me the celebration, is me overcoming. That's to attain the real happiness. That's to attain real happiness. You see that this celebration, the central to the Buddhism, this is the fundamentally concerned with the cessation of the suffering. Whenever we're talking about the happiness, if we comes to overcome the suffering, we can get the happiness. So that's the reason why that the soteriology is really important to get the real happiness. And also, this step for the comparative analysis for the proper concepts with the Buddhist tradition about the Theravada and the Vajrayana. So you can see that I will be explaining about the interpretation and application about the Theravada and Vajrayana. And this is, the Bhavacakka. I'm not sorry, how can I call the Buddha, this one, but in Pali we call Bhavacakka. Bhava is be life. Chakka is mean the we all life. This is a Bhavacakka. Especially this is explaining about the 12 link. Avajapajya, Sankhara, Sankharapajya, Vijnana. So this is explaining that's to overcoming the suffering, to see and to achieve the happiness. And another one is that is Paticcasamuppada. And this is Pali word. But in English, we can say dependent co-origination. So this one is also explaining about the 12 links. So basically, they are the same structure in concepts, but a little bit different. So today we have to explore about what is the difference between the two 12 links. The first one, I will be explaining about the Bhavacakka, the structure and the symbolism of the Bhavacakka. You already know about the Bhavacakka. This is the most iconic and profound symbol of the Buddhist philosophy. That's to understand about the real happiness. And also, this is the entire to overcome the cycle of the samsara, birth, life, death, and rebirth. And also, this is offering a visible in the philosophical representative of the Buddhist teaching. So this is one of the paths to the liberation to see the real happiness. And also, this Bhavacaka is mostly originally explained about the Yama. Yama is holding the circuit, the whole circuit. So the way held by the Yama, in according to Theravada Buddhism, Yama is one of the king of the Abhaya. We have a 4 types of the Abhaya. So he is like a king that's to be managed. When you do that, the Hosan and Hosan. After that, when you die, he will be inquiring, what did you do in your human life? If you do the good deed, you have to go in, some realms. That is the happiness realm. If you do the wholesome deeds, you have to go the bad realms. It's mean the abaya. And second one is the three animals. Big snake in the roaster. That this is the representation about the three poison. In Pali, we say that Lobha, Dosha, Moha. So Lobha, Dosha, Moha is the representative of the three kinds of the enemies. The big snake in the roaster. And second circle, which is divided into two hell, is me, the higher realm and lower realm. This is a white side and bad side. It's a kusala side, a kusala side. And the third circle is divided into 6 sections. In this section, that's counting of the villains. The first one is like a deva. The second one is like a demons in Pali, asura. And the third one, the human manusa. And the fourth one is animals, is a dirijana. And the fifth one is a hungry ghost, peta. And the last one is a hell being, nikraya. So there's a totally 6 villains. That's the countering about the Bhavacaka. So one of the most important one, that is the last of almost the 12 links. They're talking about the Avijja Avijja Sankara, Sankara Pichya, Vijnana, Vijnana Pichya, Namarupa, Namarupa Pichya, Salayadana. So that 12 is very interesting because it is very similar with 2 concepts, Bhavacaka and Paticcasamuppada. So this slide I'm explaining about the Bhavacaka and according to tradition of the Vajrayana Buddhism. You see this picture. The center of the picture, this is 3 kinds of the animals, big and also like a snake and rooster. The second, second level is that's to explain about the 2 sides, the lower realms and the higher realms. The third one is that's explaining about the 6 kind of the realms. And the last circuit is me explaining about the 12 links. So this is explaining that's to be overcome the suffering and to see the real happiness. You already understand about this one because this is your culture. So how do we overcome, what is the root of the suffering? The root of the suffering is me, attachment. In Pali we call tanna, attachment. So by the Buddha, he mentioned that the root of the suffering is the tanna. That's why we are crying, we are suffering, we are sadness, we are hungry, we are thirsty. Our society is very, the conflicts. Everybody and every society, they want happiness, but the society is to stay crying, stay sadness, stay hungry. Some people, they are very rich, but some people, they are very poor. Some people, they have a lot of food, but some people, they are very hungry. They don't have a food to eat. So that's the reason why there's the suffering. If we have the suffering, we need to the way to find out the happiness. So the Buddha already point out that to overcome the trailings. If you overcome the trailing, you can see the real happiness. So this is one of the, Bhavacaka of the tradition of the Vajrayana Buddhism. So this one is I will be explore about the tradition of Theravada Buddhism. They're talking about the dependent origination that we call Paticca Samuppada. So what is Paticca Samuppada? So Paticca is mean the 3 walk. This is combining. The first one, Paticca. Paticca is me that dependent upon. The second one is san. San is me the world. World is me the good. And the last one, opada. So paticca san opada. That we call paticca samuppada. So this is the combined three words that we call paticca samuppada. And opada is me that rising of effort. You know, the one of the scientific scholar, about the Newton. The Newton, he mentioned that the theory, action and reaction. If you have the ball, small ball, you get a bit of the wall, the ball is coming back to you. The action and reaction. The same concept is for the divine origination. When you do the good deed, you have to do the good effort. If you do the bad deed, you will get the bad effort. So that is the action and reaction. And also, that's why the dependent on the cause, the rise effect, X known in English, the law dependent origination of the circuit of rebirth. In tradition of the Vajrayana Buddhism, they believe the incarnation, but the Theravada Buddhism, we believe the rebirth. The rebirth is that never stop if you are not overcoming about the attachment.
Three more minutes.
Okay. So that's is the difference concept about the two tradition. And also this is the explained about the stated avijja is mean ignorant. So if you have the ignorant, you cannot overcome the suffering. You cannot see the Buddha. And also, the first cause because of samsara is beginnings that the origin or the beginning. We call avijja in, the attachment is me the tanna. And that's why the Paticca is teach. It gave the message. The cause is both the cause of the effect. The alternately of to be the most predict is the cause began the effect, and the effect is turned into cause. That is the universal speed in time. So you can see that your Paticca Samuppada Pasati so Dhamma Pasati. Your Dhamma Pasati so Paticca Samuppada Pasati. This is from Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Maha Patiparagama Sutta. So in this sutta, the Buddha mentioned that when you see the Paticca Samuppada, you will see the Buddha. Because this is the overcoming of the sufferings. If you cannot see the Paticca Samuppada, you can't see the Buddha. So that's why now, one who see the dependent origination, see the Dhamma. One who see the Dhamma, see the cause and effort. See the Buddha, it's mean that. So in this dependent origination, we focus on explaining about the trailings because this is more important one that's to understand and also to overcome the suffering to achieve the happiness. So the trailing is mean that the first one, avijja, is mean ignorant. And the second one is sankhara. Sankhara is mean the formation, and vijnana, consciousness, and also the namarupa. Namarupa is mean that nama in the front. And salayatana is mean the things base. That's mean the eye, ear, nose, and body. And also like a phassa is like a touch. And also like a vedana, the feeling, tanna craving, upadana cleaning, and then bhava becoming is mean the rebirth. And also jati and jara and marana, that's all. We have the totally 12 links. So how can we understand about the 12 links to see the real happiness? We will see analytical insights to place of the Mubara. So this one is explaining about this basically the avijja and tanna. If you see, I will be stopped. Yeah, this next slide.
Please, because we have time as well, so we have to run the time. So could you have some more you can specify and complete?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is the analysis to understand about the trailings. If you have a time, you can be explore in a study. So and also this is the samudaya dhamma, sabandha niyora dhamma. You have the samudaya. You cannot overcome the sufferings. And also, this is very nice about the Palestine and the Soda Pitakas. And also like Yidama, Hito Babawa, Tisa Hito, Tatakato Haha. This is really nice that to overcome the sufferings. So if we overcome the suffering, we will see the real happiness. So this is the comparative analysis, what they taught the Bawachaka and what they taught Samobara. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to be, so that's why I need to go to the conclusion. Okay, so in my conclusion that they are like an interrelated approach, the two sides about to understand the Buddhist sociology and the practice. This is me the toward enlightenment. So integration, the Bizivit and analytic inside the three methodologies that provide the practitioner or the bearers, the equivocs to negate the complex of the sensory and attain the ultimate goal of the liberation. So thank you so much. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. And now to move to the next speaker, I would like to invite Kyumbo Karma, who will present about what spoken by, taught by the Lord Buddha and how Vajrayana was in India after Buddha too. Thank you. And your time will be 25 minutes if you have your translator, and if you have your presentation by yourself, you will have 15 minutes.
Today, on this auspicious day, I would like to welcome His Eminence Le Soleil and the director of Todena and director of MCU.
이민이 맞아가 그때 벌써 저기 지주 그 벌써 저기 일어나 그 가라 저기 예민이 그 지주게 하고 남무시 그 같이 할인이 추고를 주서 가라 어떻게 뭐 지금 한 집이 빈차 무슨 집이
The followers of Buddha here in Bhutan and the followers of Buddha in Thailand, we all are same as we accept Buddha as our guide, and we are like the children of same family, even though we have a different way of practice because of our tradition and culture, but we all are like family because we all are under one guide, and that's Buddha, and we have faith, and we have faith, and we consider Buddha as our Lord. During this time, we have, it is seen that it is must that we have to share our thoughts and opinion, because compared to other major religions, we Buddhists are outnumbered and we are very little. So we have to respect each other. We have to respect each other, the way we practice Dharma, and it is the high time we held such seminar and share our understandings and views on the teachings of Buddha.
샤쇼파들로 이제 그런 좀 오라나서 sim 주의스 아니 좀 오라나서로 이게 무슨 생기 세 이게 무슨 좀 쓰기 그래서 이게님을 더 주요고 꼭이네 좀 아니 나 헐어봐 좀 수기 아니 생기 샤쇼 투비기 이제 와나 이게 뭐 자체 이베스 아니 좀
The king in the Brody, having no idea who the flying disciples were, he summoned his minister, Dawa Zangpo, but he also had no idea what it was. So he asked the people of his kingdom, and they come to know that they were the disciple of Lord Buddha, flying to the east to Varanasi to receive teaching from Lord Buddha.
Then the window of the continue to solo. That is only the Gavas and some say, some get only the National should have water. He should support a sugar as a Indian Govas, G. Captain Amma. Then Tonkinagi, EGP, gave a television. The Sanjay Simi, Martin, and was sort of believing, even be the Chara. The Sanjay with the other, you get the Timoja. The Sanjay Navagi to Sinano, then you want to consider the Corona Generals. Soon talk about the Sanjay, Mission, you might the Nava, Corona Charani, the gave over to the education.
Knowing that the disciple who was flying from the sky and going to the east were the disciple of Buddha, and he really wanted to invite Buddha to the kingdom of Ugin, and he asked the people, how can I invite Buddha to his kingdom? And the people said that Buddha is all knower; he knows everything, and if you pray it with faithfulness, he will know everything, and he will really answer your prayers.
Then gave Woody a Sanjay, Sanjay Geloma, Gelon the Subitan, in the consider some total bed. Tabija patient, I gave using Judy Kodagi, 10 kilo change. Then Tomaja, the shop, give you more salad to be the camber, the several dozen more, but the much only then you go Corona, the consider of Jenasi, the Subitan, the Sanjay Chombi, Sanjay Geloma. Given to tell to Sakara, the Javasha had to be the few in the window of the Corona channel.
The king in their body, he prepared lunch and everything, and it was ready, and he kneeled down and he prayed to Buddha. He prayed to Buddha to come to have lunch, and the Buddha and his disciple really came to have lunch.
Then the window of the second Corona chapel, you consider so, not to be down with this how the Gabo to Sanjay, the Nachipa, the Holy Tatsubi, that you just got the Jama say. This would have the Sanjay, that you call it a hobby watching. He gave you Kodam only the king about the truth.
After offering lunch to Buddha and his disciple, the Buddha disciple, the king asked the Buddha to teach Dharma, so that he and other sentient beings can be free from samsara. And the Buddha said that if you want to get liberation, if you want to be free from samsara, you have to leave your palace and everything behind and become a monk.
주디 상디 기본에 의견이 이게 우리가 도대체 뭐 상황이 유시 명확히 되지만
The king replied to Buddha, I can't leave my palace behind. I can't leave everything behind and practice dharma. Right after hearing that, the Buddha came to know that he had the higher capacity to receive the Vajrayana. So the Buddha manifested himself as Ashobhe, and he gave him empowerment, oral transmission, and blessing, and taught the first Vajrayana teaching.
디나를 머신도 규디를 상하게 추게 나오면서 그 상하게 추면서 저거기 상계 또 공로 뒤죽고 그 시비기 깝지나고 또 가지고 끌린 게 있어. 다들 중심 멋진 그 자가를 말아서 나디도 콘스토 걸린데 아니기 사고 또 가지고 끌린 게 무슨 일이냐고 그 상하게 추 인디언 위기 겨워들 위기 진수로 앞에들 뒤홀라 소리 큐도 주기 되는 온 유시기도 상하도 이제 추는 소조와 상계 공로 뒤죽는 지역을 나고 또 가지고 끌린 게 무슨
Starting from there, the teaching of Vajrayana spread, and when the Lord Buddha became 79 years old, he taught the full version of Vajrayana teaching at Maharashtra.
상계기 숨이게 상하게 추이기 이제 우리로부터 나서고 그 주신사를 하나 소리기 자가나 주이기 주신도 수기냐 수지기도 그 대내들이 가지고 규디 되는 규가 아주 규게 하는 거 상하게 추이기가 중요했어.
The Vajrayana teaching taught by Buddha was practiced by the king Indrabodhi, Nagarjuna, and the 84 Mahasiddha of India, and it flourished to Bhutan.
그 상하게 추이기 중심 계시기도 쉬워지 계시 유리로 어떤 뜻이 쉬워지 않지.
If I explain and if I go into detail about how the Vajrayana teaching flourished, it is very vast, and this is the only sum up of how the Vajrayana teaching spread from India to Bhutan. That's it.
다 아니면 빨리 기기 빨리 기기 취기 준비기 남들이 취비니 이러다 상스크리트 취기 준비기 남이 취비니 이러다 야마티라바다 맞아야 되는 남이 취비니 쓰는데 가라는 저 뺀다 생기 좀 이게 너무 지중이 가라 생기 좀 이게 수명기 그들이 취 남하게 된 것이 되는 떠다가기 찾아지 개는 상상이 다니고도 물론 파괴된 것이나로 또 동의 시버쳐고 동의 된 것도 방법도 지금 주긴 전에 되는 것도 방법 제가 동의 방법이 고고 지금 너무 유리된 것이 그 순간으로 그 추로 가는 거 개발을 되게 이유로 아니 너무 유로 제로 고된도 소리게 탑 너무 유리된 한국이 개발로 되는 막 개발하기 중앙에 숨기기 순수마로 지지 그렇게 좀be 되는 맞아야 하는 게 추는데 소리를 봐 때마다 개발 지리를 이게 안 내린 게 있어서 도라마스도 개발하다가 맞아야 하는 소리를 이게 이 개발 지리 주주는 거스 때마다 지금 동안 이차는데 다시 शुरू 좀 랑 파게 된 것이 추교 공지 수된 걸 개발 그래서
Whether you follow the Pali teaching Buddhism or the Sanskrit teaching Buddhism, or whether you follow Theravada Buddhism or Vajrayana Buddhism, it all consists of suffering, the root of suffering, and cessation of suffering, and it's all same. The only difference is that the way is different, and we all are same whether you follow everything. The only difference comes from the only difference is little bit slightly different is because the way you follow. That's the difference. And the root goal, the last destination is same.
어디 좀 추고 개발마로 어디 좀 보면이 저기 좀봐 또 상기 좀 된디 또 탐지 김밥이 된디 또 상기기 맞아 저기 감동 뭐 선비기 제정 로미도 상기기 킨신데 이 저기 감동 뭐 선비 제정도 팀비기 이추 이름바 아직이 마로스는 근데 다이 삐고리 잡으러 와진 그냥 미랑 소소기 개하고 미랑 소소기 어디 되는데 이 지고기 그래서 한 번만 이 중도선배 이 인생.
Buddha, being the all-knower, he preached different ways like Theravada, Mahayana, Hinayana, and Vajrayana, according to the capacity of the disciples. For example, different nations have different peoples, and different peoples prefer different food. For example, Buddhist people prefer emadasi, and other people prefer different food. But the goal is to fill up your tummy, and that's what the Buddha knew, and he taught different teachings according to the capacity of his disciples.
逐渐的提升티라바데인데 바자에는데 가가상기 기술이 추장성이 되는 맞아라 티라바데 추나는데 요즘은 바자에는 그 추는 수 같이 공유시도 좀 지기지로 대체적인다 규구기 토르기 그냥 그게 자라 지만 그냥 무슨 대체를 했는데 그 대biểu 느낌들이 줄라는 거기 유니버시티는 지진 지샤부터 준비기 경험도 속이 당연히는 그냥 무슨 열심히 지나도 그런 무슨 것들이 옛날에 파가베 같이 술로로는 게 많았고 춘정도 열심히 잡고 내가 소소기 배탄자 방가 휴기기 그러면서 아침마다 이렇게 지설되기도 맞아 가라기 성질이 변화도 나지차 그는 심진도 이게 배타비 그 장난도 진리도 지키는 그런 치료였어.
Whether it is Theravada or Vajrayana, we have to respect each other as both Theravada and Vajrayana is taught by Buddha. And I'm very happy and very thankful for the director of Thailand for organizing such a seminar, and I look forward for this of Buddhism. Thank you.
Thank you very much, for your presentation about how has taught the King Devotee. And because of the time, he had to end about after about the Vajrayana. Thank you very much. And the last speaker, may I move to Dr. Konit Sritong. Your topic again, please, about Buddhism and happiness, sociological perspective. Your time will be again 15 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you. Respected most honorable, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, once again, sorry for that IT technical problem. Okay. So as I told you before that my topic is Buddhism and happiness, sociological perspective. Okay. As you know, that sociology means the study of social interaction. In this topic, how religion, especially Buddhism, play important role and promote happiness in society. That's the main point of this topic. Okay.
No, it's okay.
I'll change from here.
Okay. Next slide. You see, you can see nowadays at the present, many people, especially young generation, I can say that they hate religion. They do not want to go to the temple. They want to go to other place that they can enjoy their life. You can see. But the developing in everywhere in the world, maybe today many scholars say that it is wrong track. Why is it wrong track? Because, next slide, because you see many problems happening around the world, especially in aspect of economic aspect. We have depression. We have a lot of problems. Social aspect also we are facing. And as another aspect, that environment. We are in the hot, it's not warming. We are in the hot, how to say, it's climate. It's not warm climate. It's not warm climate. It's hot. Now the climate is already changed. In Bhutan, I come. It's not maybe too much change. But in other country like Thailand, it's too much. That's why I say that it is wrong track. So we come to another alternative track. Can Buddhism play an important role? Not just to solve our problem, but to solve our, not just to solve the problem in the country, but ourselves. And we have to take care of this society for the younger generation, for the generation to come. So Buddhism, a Buddhist approach can be applied for more peaceful, harmonious, and happy society. That every one of us want to live in this society. We do not want to live in opposite society. So this like this. So as I told you before, that we are in the Bani world. That Bani stands for like this. It's liable to break or shatter easily. You can see by yourself. Another one is we are anxious. What will happen to us tomorrow? We are worried about that. Not just only ourselves, our leadership, our brotherhoods. Maybe because of the advancement of technology. Another character of Bani world is that no longer a feasible structure in all cases. We cannot trace what kind of the thing. We cannot trace the structure of the situation that happened. It's unpredictable. We cannot sure this will happen according to our prediction. The last one, it's difficult to understand, not intelligible. This is the world today. Next slide. So, regarding happiness, I think all of you know well, we refer to the well. Yeah, so time is running out. So, in my point as sociologist, religion is a set of beliefs, of faith, of worship Buddhism is not the same definition that many Westerners know, because Buddhism is the way of life. It's based on the natural phenomena. If we proceed our life inconsistent with the nature, that sure that we can be happy. But because we proceed our life against the nature, that our life is facing suffering. So Buddhism is coming to. So, but by applying Buddhism. Next slide. Yeah, I can say that many countries follow the UN development. You heard about the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. Now it's going to expand in the year 2030. So we have just only 6 years more. Every country follow this 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Back to our country, Thailand and Bhutan. We follow the footprint of the Buddha, that Buddhism. So it is our mission, our task to spread the Buddha doctrine, not just only to the people of our two countries, but to others, to the country in the world also. Let they come to take the benefit from the teaching of the Buddha. Like that, we have mindfulness, like this. Okay, next. Because I want you to see this. According to Buddhism, there are 3 levels of the happiness, I can say that. Next slide, please. Go to the slide. This one. Next. Yeah, you can see that. The 3 levels of the happiness or classification, the degree of happiness and suffering. You can see the lowest one, happiness from sensual pleasure. This is ordinary. That means if you have this, you have less happiness and more suffering. So you go to another step, that happiness for mind training, that we are on training, mind training or mind development. So we can get more happiness, less suffering. And we go forward to the last step, the step of liberation. We have most happiness and no suffering. It's up to our wish that what kind of the thing that we would like to follow. In my conclusion. Next slide. So I can say that Buddhist sustainable development driven from human spiritual development. That humans are developed to be happy from moderate needs. We cannot fulfill all the needs that we want. Right. This, I think that the Buddha principle, the Buddha doctrine will lead us to the happy life. And finally, we will have the happy society. Thank you very much.
Thank you for a very interesting topic. Yeah, finished before 5 minutes. Thank you very much. And to finish it before we have to break, our venerable Dr. Himid mentioned to overcome from suffering, and we have known more about theology or real happiness, and also very much interested myself for bringing up the presentation about Baba Chakka, and also about mentioning Yama, what we call it, Shungichika here, and about Theravada Buddhism, about Pati-cha, Samapada especially. And thank you for that. And Venerable Khyentse Karma stated about Buddhism, about Vajrayana, how the Lord Buddha taught in India. It was very interesting that how Buddha met with Indrabodhi was very much well known for Vajrayana. So also he mentioned about how to have the collaboration, especially with Theravada and Vajrayana. It was more interesting. And finally, Dr. Amit Sritong for bringing about the climate change and for the social, and especially the Bani world, where we have spoken Buddhism is way of life. This was more interesting for me, and hope everyone enjoyed about the levels of happiness, especially the last. So this was more important for everyone to spread this line. So thank you, and behalf of our session, I'd like to thank three of you very much, and everyone, thank you for paying attention for this, and we conclude it here. Thank you very
much. With this, we have come to a conclusion of first session of the seminar, and seminar on Buddhist Arts of Happiness. And I'm delighted to inform that the next session will resume in 20 minutes after a well-needed break. And I'm sure all of our audiences can't wait to continue with this wonderful event. See you in 20 minutes after a break.
그치 마. 여러분들 집이 not 그치 그때 항상 연락을 주게 맞다. 그런데 시 아내를 너무 좋다고 답변이 그러나 나 아니 땅까지 지원해 아니
I said this one is okay. This one is okay. Can you delete?
나
So, you want to delete this? This is
PDF
Yeah, delete it.
you want to delete
Delete.
delete it
No, it's okay. Nobody. It's
delete
long,
it.
long file.
so you can delete it by this one is can I delete it
Yeah,
all right
it is actually long.
this is the one you need
This one okay for you.
all right thank you
Yeah,
thank you for the
it's in wrong file.
that was it 아니 나 다시 나 이구디 지기 아니 틀어 밤이 지기
Solo rồi nhé thấy em
tăng sang đi
em sự việc thích trùng
난 주고 되게 나도 카페 주고 가만히 프레젠테이션 하려고 싹기 뭐 깨면 거 마통면이나 예 돈도 벌지 싹 같이 주나 같이 싹 앞에 뒤에 친구가 싹 되나 너희들 마통 아니 이거 같이
Second name. Second name. Second name. Second name. Now on the forgive them you be the Mas ko ana yin chide chide so hol ko chala yin sum tam dam na che na to no ber da
Hello, mic check. Nilsson.
Welcome back from a good tea break, and now we are going to begin our second session for today's seminar. I have absolutely no doubt that all of you are having a great moment today. Before we resume our next session, may I please ask Dr. Neminda, lecturer of International Buddhist Institute, to be the moderator of our upcoming session. And I would like to hand over the stage to him. Please welcome Dr. Neminda.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to our academic seminar. The seminar is the Buddhist Art of the Happiness. So the most Sankar River and the director of the Tanggu Buddhist University and the director of the International Buddhist Study College and also the Dharma brother and the sister. Welcome back to our section 2. So in our section 2, we have 3 scholars and a speaker. The first one is Mariba Dr. Uken Tangsin. He is the lecturer of the International Buddhist Study College and IBS in MCU. The second one is the Venerable Kampo Kamchun. So he is the one of the speaker. His topic is also why Buddha has become more important as the Vajrayana month. And the last speaker is the Napabom, the daughter Napabom. She will be explaining about the SDG. This is the optimics hope in action. So I would like to open the stage for the speaker. So the first speaker, this Venerable Dr. Uken, I would like to invite you. That's state of the you. In sister Napabom.
Okay, hope it works. And, as I've written it here, this is the topic that I'm going to talk about now in the section. And integration of Buddhism and science for community peace. So, in the yep. So basically 4 kind of items. The life, so the for the first one is the Buddhist religion. Second one, science, Buddhist philosophy, and the Buddhist psychology. So normally, there are a lot of misconceptions that people think Buddhism is one and only, that is the faith-based religion. So that whenever you're talking about the faith-based religion, and then we are kind of closing the door for intellectual thought or kind of rational mindset. So here I'm going to talk about the Buddhism as a religion. So Buddhism as a religion, there are a lot of things that, we cannot really question, although we philosophically say that it's a questionable, but in fact, we have to think that whether these questions are, whether this question really does the questions really do the justice or not. Why is that? Because if you look at this thing here, the life after that is, something that cannot be, something that can be proven scientifically. Okay, so there is no experiment that has been done to prove that, showing that this is the scientific result of the experiment that has done on life after death. Although there are many sayings that the near-death experience prove that there is life after death, but in fact, we this is it's we still think I mean that question. I mean that conclusion itself is still questionable. And the second one, the beginning of samsara, which we normally say that even in the Tsawashara, right? So which means that when the Buddha was asked whether there was the beginning of samsara or not, or whether there is end of samsara or not. So these things are questionable basically, even though we say that yes, there is, yes, of individual person, although there is no beginning of samsara, but there is samsara. But these things are cannot be applied to the general, understanding. So law of karma here, and the law of karma, maybe I should be a little bit louder. Okay. So the law of karma is also one of kind of interesting things that we normally, although the Abhidhamma Kosa or Subandhu has kind of the category of divided the law of karma into a lot of subdivisions, but still that we and still that again we have to think again that that kind of that conclusion saying that the law of karma is the philosophically proven is also the kind of questionable. So we cannot really trust that this has been proved by kind of scientifically. Okay. And then the supernatural power saying that if you do a certain type of ritual, then you're going to get this kind of power. For example, if you do the rituals of Tara, and then you will never ever face the sort of scarcity of finance or whatever. So these things, I'm not going to go through all of these things. So however, what I wanted to say is that we got to be really careful as a Buddhist. So if you are not really careful, these things are really going to ruin the Buddha Sasana or the Buddha, Buddha Dharma. So in here, since we all are the Buddha's, disciple, that I kind of highly would like to recommend that when we give the Dharma talk, so we are not really, I mean, we have to be careful with whether this is the religion or philosophy or kind of that belong to the scientific, scientific kind of subjects. And I'm glad that I'm also used that, the kind of diagram of Bhava Chakra, and which already been several times already been showed by my colleague, most venerable Dr. Nimenda, whom I regard as my kind of brother. Oops. And then here we have the Buddhist science. So, but one may say that if the Buddhism is not, if the Buddhism is religion and then the religion, since the religion is not really cannot be questioned, then what can we do to kind of serve or to prove the Buddhism as a real or as a kind of genuine kind of genuine philosophy or kind of way that we can apply in our daily basis? Well, the answer is that Buddhism has been already divided into 4 categories, right? The Buddhist religion, Buddhist science, and then some of them will be coming. So here we are going to talk about the Buddhist science. And the Buddhist science, of course, there are different types of science, right? The Buddhist physics, right? The Buddhist biology, Buddhist cosmology, Buddhist chemistry, Buddhist physics. Oh, sorry, astrophysics, Buddhist astrophysics here. And then one might wonder what does the Buddhist physics mean? Well, the answer is that the Buddhist physics in Abhidhammakosha, as the Vasubandhu says that, if you look at the first chapter of Abhidhammakosha, the Abhidhammakosha kind of clearly said that what does the fire means, right? What does the wind means, and then how does Abhidhammakosha, but on top of that, we also have the Barto's teaching, where the Barto of becoming or Barto of Sipa, the Sipa Barto, where how the deceived person kind of take the next sort of physical form, right? So all these types of things are what I consider as the Buddhist biology, and then the Buddhist cosmology. Again, if you look at the Abhidhammakosha's 3rd chapter, there are a whole lot of things that has been give the explanation on the Buddhist cosmology, right? So how the Buddhist cosmos was formed, and then how it functioned, and how it's going to end, and then how the kind of sun lights the earth, stuff like that. These things are what we can say that Buddhist cosmology. And then it's very interesting that me as a lecturer at IBAC, one of my subject was about the Abhidhammakosha, and then in which I find a lot of similarities between modern science, modern cosmology and the Buddhist cosmology, especially the Big Bang theory, what kind of the science that they themselves really proud of. And then we can find a lot of similarities between the science and Buddhist cosmology. And then here again, we got the Buddhist chemistry. So that's also very interesting. That if I may quote one of the Vasubandhu's line from the Abhidhammakosha, where it says that so and so on. So this stuff really talks about the Buddhist chemistry, right? So what kind of elements are there? For example, the kind of the visual object that we see. So how does it matter? What does it matter of? And then the answer Vasubandhu says is that is made of sort of 8 elements, and including the sound, then it is the made of 9 elements. And then the Buddhist astrophysics. That Buddhist astrophysics I have probably mentioned during this Buddhist cosmology. The same, almost how the distance between, how far the sun is from the Earth, and then the kind of how the sun function and stuff like that are what I consider as the Buddhist astrophysics. And then the Buddhist philosophy, that is, Buddhism, one of the reason why Buddhism is so kind of one of the fastest growing religion in the world is this is probably the very reason why is that so. And the Buddhist philosophy is really can again kind of integrate with the modern science, especially the Buddhist core teachings of the Buddhist philosophies. To me, the Nagarjuna's Mula Madhya Magakarika is the core teaching of the Buddhist philosophy. So which my colleague have already mentioned, that Padyata Samopada, or the Tendril and the Pony, the philosophical view of the Padyata is a combination of the Padyata Samopada and emptiness, right? So, so these things really can, works pretty much well with the Albert Einstein's the theory of relativity. So everything is relative, right? So because of this, therefore that. Because of tall, therefore there's short. And these stuff like that are kind of, the Nagarjuna always emphasize on that. So apart from depending upon each other, there is no phenomena that we can find. So therefore, this kind of this sort of Buddhist philosophical concepts are, um, gaining popularity in the world. And the source of this philosophy is obviously the Lankabrata Sutta, the Nagashigiddo, and Nagarjuna's, of course, the Panchaparamita Sutta is also the one of them. And then the Nagarjuna's Mula Madhyamaka Umasal Sharaf, and the Arya Devas Umar Jabba, and Chandrakirti's Madhyamaka Bhattara, along with the Tika, the auto commentary, and Bodhisattva Acharya Bhattara, Joshu Michunju, and Buddha Palita by Buddha Palita, Sanghechang's Buddha Palita that they have, right? So all these things are the original source of Buddhist philosophy. And then there's this Buddhist psychology. So again, His Holiness the Dalai Lama says that compared to the Buddhist psychology, the modern psychology is just more like the kindergarten level. So that means, so what he mean by that is that the Buddhist psychology is more advanced than that of the modern psychology. So the reason is I also find that is quite, really makes sense, because if you go through the Abhidhamma Kosha, so the Abhidhamma Kosha talks about around, 40 and so on, some sort of mental factors there. And then the Abhidhamma Samuchaya by Asanga, Tome, the Nyombakundi, so which talks about around 50 or above something, mental factors. And then there's this kind of sort of mind. There are 6 types of mind, both commonly agree. So, however, in this regard, one can deeply analyze that the Buddhism has a lot of rich kind of knowledge about the psychology, and then they have this they have clearly identified the mind and mental factors and all sort of things. And then later, well, then if there are kind of mental problem, so one is facing with a psychological disorder, then how can you solve that problem? The answer lies in, do I still got some time? 2 more minutes. All right, okay. So the answer lies in this the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, especially the way, if you want to get the chapter 4, which is I think on passions, Zvi or something. I don't really remember right now. So in these chapters, the Shantideva really focuses on how to calm ourselves, how to calm down our mind, how to train our mind, how to change our perspective, switch our perspective into the positive, which that really can benefit us. And then so thus far I have mentioned a lot of Abhidhamma, right? I mean like Nyomba. So when I'm not really, I'm a little bit worried, I'm wondering that whether this is really relevant to my topic right now or not. But somehow, for your kind information, there are a lot of PhD candidates and MA candidates here for your kind information. So there are different Theravada tradition, the Nathan Devi Jumuta, Mulasaro Astibada tradition, the what I call Tamchi Romani let me speak a little bit in Tonga also. So Nyambo did indeed immediate in Haramidi, and Nicotelation such now watching now rocketing their own meditation. And then of course the meditation, which already mentioned by many of my friends, and I'm not going to touch upon that. And then that brings us to the conclusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The Venerable Tauta Tenzin, the lecturer of the International Buddhist Study College in MCU. So the next session, I would like to invite one of the speaker, the speaker who the name is Kambo Kamchi. Please welcome to the stage. The Venerable, this is the time for you.
Thank you for the stage, dear moderator. With my humble respect to His Eminence and the director from MCU, as well as our Kinchen, every one of you who are watching our presentation. And my topic today is about why Bhutan has increasingly become more important as a Vajrayana land. So I would like to clarify about why Bhutan has been so much attracted because of Vajrayana. I will begin with my speech, and my slides will be okay after a few seconds. With the prominence of Buddhism in Bhutan, many wonder why Bhutan has become more popular as the land of Vajrayana. It is believed by us Bhutanists that Bhutan was already blessed by the radiance of Lord Shakyamuni after he attained enlightenment in Bodh Gaya. All the yanas present in the form of 108 volumes compiled by great arhats and Mahapanditas of the Lord Buddha's teaching, and 220 volumes of commentaries written by Mahapanditas are also in Bhutan. Yet some of you may still wonder why Bhutan is found to be more well-known as the land of Vajrayana. Simple answer would be just by the majority of practice, but we have two major reasons. I will go on with the clarification. Does Vajrayana have other than Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha to whom they rely and devote? Are they additional? I would go with the answer yes. I must state first that even in Vajrayana, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are more important roots as in Mahayana and Vinaya, but Vajrayana have other three roots, that is Guru, deity, and Dakinis, where all Vajrayana practitioners pay homage to it. First, about the Vajrayana Buddha, to clarify, Vajrayana as a whole in this world have the same Bhutan. People in Bhutan also have the same Dipya Masambhava as the second Lord Buddha. Some Buddhists and holy items for rituals. By this, we understand that Vajrayana not only pays respect just to Lord Gautama Buddha, but also regard the numerous Buddhas in every direction. Not just Guru Padmasambhava, not just one Avalokiteshvara, each consisting 21,000 skandhas is 63,000 skandhas altogether for 3 Pitaka. And among 84,000 skandhas, the remaining 21,000 skandhas have been recommended as a common path and mentioned it as Vajrayana skandhas. This we reflect it as living dharma according to Vajrayana. The robes greatly indicate the large gatherings of bhikshu and bhikshuni forming sangha. When we try to understand in Mahayana, the gatherings of large numbers of bodhisattvas form Mahayana sangha. When we state to Vajrayana, by ourselves, visualizing each other as gods and goddesses, we can regard each other as Sangha in Vajrayana. This, we reflect it as living Sangha. Vajrayana, the word itself, Vajra means where there's no change, as diamond. Yana means traveling to it. So this describes Vajrayana. Vajrayana has other two names called mantra and tantra. It has the name mantra as it protects from wrong minding. That is mantra. It has a name tantra because it protects from the wrong ways. Many mistakes between Hindu Tantra and Vajrayana. Hindu Tantra may talk more about the pleasure of physical engagement, but Vajrayana doesn't. There are some gods and goddesses imaged in Vajrayana, forming the images as if like a couple. Some paintings illustrated on the wall, statues on the altar, even available as the postcards these days in some areas. But this really doesn't mean as what we find in external figures when it is taken out one by one as the reflections and indications of supreme qualities. Because by the word of Tantra, it is said that there are some practitioners who make mistakes in Vajrayana. To lead to the right ways from the world of human who are totally born in the land of lust, they are reminded by the male as method and by the female as wisdom. There are wrathful gods and goddesses in Vajrayana, anger for anger to realize anger. If I make in simple words that I mentioned above, I mean we have different prayers and meditation in Vinaya, but when we are in Mahayana, we form it into paramitas. When we learn 6 parameters or 10 parameters with the numbers in Mahayana, but when we are in Vajrayana, we form parameters into the figures of gods and goddesses. And there are many thousand figures of gods and goddesses in Vajrayana. Each one has the significance from their glowing hair to their bottom of seats. Why Bhutan has become more important as Vajrayana land? This we have to further go on. I will detail here the reasons. First, Guru Rinpoche, Guru Padmasambhava, who was born from the ocean of Tanakosha as part of predictions of Lord Buddha. He would be the leader of Vajrayana. Guru Rinpoche followed the path of Lord Buddha, ordained as bhikshu from the Lord Buddha's famous attendant Ananda, practiced in several places of India and Pakistan before he came to Bhutan. Bhutan was first visited by the great Vajrayanic teacher, Guru Padmasambhava. My root guru mentioned that he visited Bhutan in 2nd century, whereas in some books they have mentioned 8th century, but I feel that 2nd century is the correct one, because in the 6th century, Parvakichu monastery as well as Jambalhakan was built in 6th century. Only in 8th century, through Tibet, Guru Padmasambhava visited Bhutan in 8th century. Guru Rinpoche subdued the demon through bhajana rituals in central Bhutan, especially for the first time. Guru Padmasambhava predicted in Tibet that 3 months of meditation doing in Tibet is equal to 3 days of retreat in Bhutan. First, we take it as the most important. It could be because one could gain supreme wisdom easily during retreats in Bhutan. He also advised through some of his teachings, Peme Kathang. Some came for the retreat from Tibet and lived years and years in Bhutan, but the name Bhutan wasn't named in that situation days.
We can see the small ruins still today, mostly in eastern, western, and central Bhutan. Pajutokwan visited Tanguchare Valley and established a meditation institute in 12th century based on Vajrayana. This is the slide where we find the ruins, and this is maintained by Lesulu Rinpoche, who is present here as our chief guest today. It was done in a couple of years before. Longchen Ramjan built temples in 14th century in central and in western Bhutan. He was a monk externally and Vajrayana practitioner internally. But Pakma Plingpa discovered various treasures in 16th century in central Bhutan. He taught Vajrayana from central Bhutan to Tibet. Pakma Lingpa was the first Bhutanese who administered and bestowed blessings in Tibet. Many laities practiced Vajrayana in Bhutan since then. Numbers of retreat caves were occupied by Vajrayana practitioners. 98% people in Eastern Bhutan practice Vajrayana, 97% in Central Bhutan, 95% in Western Bhutan, 70% in Southern Bhutan. It was been estimated by the richest measured by the well-known who worked for Tenzong as Tendoji. He went through village to village, seeing the recite Om Mani Padme Hum. Among the 30 monks in 1621, he is the second who was predicted to be the leader of Vajrayana. He was predicted by Guru Rinpoche that he will be the Vajrayana leader. And as he has been the founder of Bhutan, the land became more Vajrayanic important. He established a very unique monastic school in Bhutan. He also entered for 3 years and 45 days of retreat. Monks received Vinaya, Mahayana, and Vajrayana education. 3 of them were. Galsitin Terapke increased the numbers of monks in Bhutan when he was as the 4th Devraja, the governor of Bhutan. Enrollment of the monks continued since the first Jekimbo in the fort of Punaka, Thimphu, Paro, Wangdi, and Tromsø. All the monks have 3 yanas education. Elders have to go for retreats. Unless having the best Vajrayana education, one was not appointed as Sangharaja. 12th point. Vinaya grew more only in 1970s from Tango Monastery under the 68th Jekimbo. Since then, monks and nuns grew separately. Well, this wouldn't be the time yet because it was then established the nuns for where to go for the further education and for the sanghas. Prayers of Mahayana and Vinaya grew much throughout the country, but however, Vajrayana prayers were never left, even during summer retreats. Prayer books of Vajrayana were distributed in schools across the country, and even today, schools have more prayers based on Vajrayana. Bhutanese from Western, Central, and Eastern, 99% of the officials today follow Vajrayana teachings after their retirement.
Okay, then you have the 2 more minutes.
Thank you. And what do the monks have their daily activities in Bhutan? Monks in the monasteries conduct prayers of Vinaya and Mahayana and Vajrayana each day, but once one enters to the retreat and returns from the 2 years and 45 days of retreat, one continues lifelong Vajrayana prayers and meditation. But if we are back in the Buddhist studies center and university like here, We have opportunity to join in the summer retreat and enjoy our 45 days annually and also join the Sangha every day. Thank you for paying attention.
Thank you so much, Venerable Kepong. Your topic is very interesting about the history of the Vajrayana Buddhism. So the last speaker, I would like to hear about the Daughter number 4. So please welcome to the state. The time is for you. She will be represented about the SDG. This means the Sustainable Development of the Goal. So please welcome to the state.
มหาสังฆะ Venerable Lector Lopeng Rinpoche, Overholt Tango Dorden Tachitang Buddhist University, distinguished scholars and all participants. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Mahachula Rajavichyalaya, IBSC, and Tango Buddhist University for allowing me to be here among all of you, to learn and to share some food of thought to this wonderful seminar. Actually, I just would like to tell you that it's something that may be different from the other presentation, because this is the point of view of the outside people among Sangha, right? I just would like to share some idea that, it's like the first visit of myself. And I can tell you that Bhutan is the country in my dream, that once of my life that I prefer to visit. Among the country that did the 31 country that I can say that I'm very happy. One can relate with the sufficient economy philosophy that we have like a direction of the country of two nations, two cultures, and that bring to link and connect with the concept of SDGs, which United Nations member need to commit with the SDGs. SDG is sustainable development goals, which are very comprehensive goals, need to have like
the sustainable development goals. This is the totally the something goals. It's like the first one, no hunger, like well-being and educated, and totally the something. This is very important for the nation.
Our today's academic seminar finally comes to
so delighted to be here. I'm so happy to listen to academicians from Theravada world and Mahayana world. Two worlds we work under the Buddha world. This perspective. So eventually we all have to compare and try to analyze the way that academicians try to approach to you all. But one thing I learned from them all, now I'm clear in my mind, especially the way how can we achieve true happiness. That is very important, because true happiness is the vision and goal that the Buddha would like to achieve. But now we know clearly, the goal is nirvana. The goal is true happiness. But the thing is that, what is the way that brings all of us to achieve nirvana or true happiness? We learn more the way how to practice. Venerable Khenpo and our friend from Theravada, Venerable Nanda, he tried to propose it. But the reason why I come here, you know why? Because I would like to know the tool and the way that Vajrayana master practice in order to achieve true happiness. He was so lucky. His eminence tried to promote the way how can we practice to achieve the life. The reason why he inspired monks to go to practice meditation on the top of the mountain for 3 years and 3 months. That's the way most nobles try to do it. We not just learn pariyatti, not just learn pariyatti. Pariyatti, that is a Buddha teaching. Buddha Sasana and Buddhism are different ones. Buddha Sasana, that is when the Buddha brings to practice and achieve life. He brings that teaching and inspire you all, let you all to prove the way how can you practice in order to achieve enlightenment like the Buddha. But now you come to know clearly. You learn from scripture. The government, who will practice, who will dedicate their life to practice, to achieve enlightenment, we call patipatti. Pariyatti is not enough to achieve enlightenment, but patipatti that will bring you all to learn who is the real Buddha. But just the Buddha world is not enough for you to serve as a people. SDG from the Kunapapon and modern science from Rimbo Uken, he tried to remind us, when you learn pariyati, when you try to practice patipati, you would be able to achieve true happiness. What is going on? What is going on? There's a reason why the Buddha tried to remind us. The group of 69, when they achieve enlightenment at Varanasi, this is he remind 50 group of monks, there are practical ways that are done, whenever you achieve enlightenment, after that, you will go into community society and actually help many people who suffer. Lead them all to learn how to practice in order to achieve enlightenment as a Buddha. Today, I would like to thank our rector, Sanpo Buddhist University, for give us a chance to be here, to learn from Vajrayanā world. Please join hands in hand. Just Theravada is not enough to preserve this world. Is facing many problems. We have to join hands in hand to work together and help many people who suffer at this time. Once again, thank you all of you for being here. Who can, that is 1 month who complete from your university, and most venerable, His Eminence inspire him, let him to go to study. Learn how to understand Theravada, learn how to understand Mahayana, and compare with Vajrayana. Today, we come back to present the thing he knows to you all. I do hope that it's not just Venerable Uken, but about you all. Mahachula Lokon Buddhist University, International Buddhist Study College, very warm welcome you all who would like to go to study there. I'm very happy waiting for you in that. Apart from that, I would like to thank our speaker who prepare everything. I know it's not easy to be here and present the thing you know, but now everything complete already. Thank you very much. May the Buddha, the power of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha bless you all with true happiness and peacefulness all the time and forever. Thank you very much.